Yo, what is good guys? Back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my top 5 dream WrestleMania matches that I dream of. If I could book WrestleMania one day, these are the matches I would have on it. That could actually happen. Of course, I would put matches like Shawn versus Eddie kind of deal, Harper and Rowan versus Usos versus New Day kind of deal. But those matches, sadly, cannot happen and whatnot. But these matches are. And before I share my top 5, I would love to know some matches that you would love to see at a future WrestleMania or a future big show kind of deal, like the equivalent, like Wrestle Kingdom kind of deal. And I'm not saying all of these matches will happen at some point, it's just matches I would love to see on the granddaddy of them all. So yeah, let's get started with number 5. Match number 5, or the first one that I want to talk about, is Mustafa Ali versus, I might butcher his name, but El Hijo del Vikingo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've seen a couple of his Vikingos matches when he was in AAA late last year, and I was really impressed with him. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, Mustafa Ali, one of my guys. And give this match like the opening spot, like 10-15 minutes. I can see it being really good. When it comes to story, I don't really know kind of deal. That's up to people. I just really would love to see a match in between these two, especially on a big platform like WrestleMania and whatnot. And I just want to see more El Hijo del Vikingo kind of deal, whether it's in Canada or the States, and against Mustafa Ali would be top notch at a WrestleMania or a Wrestle Kingdom, that kind of deal. But either way, that match is number 5. On to number 4. Number 4 on my list, I think, is on everybody's list. It's not the least likely to happen, but I wouldn't really bet a shiny loony on it happening, and that is AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. I think, again, like I said, everybody that either grew up watching Shawn Michaels or at least grew up watching AJ Styles wants to see, or at least at one point wanted to see, this match. AJ Styles, one of the best non-WWE guys and arguably wrestlers of the 2000s. Shawn Michaels, same thing, but just wrestlers within WWE. And if this match would have happened in some way, somehow, don't know for sure how, but like 2008, 2009, like Shawn Michaels of that time versus AJ Styles of like his WWE tenure, I personally would have loved to see it. I would have paid the money to see it and whatnot. But either way, again, don't think that this match would actually happen, but I would personally love it to happen sooner or later, but probably never, sadly. Number 3 on my list, I know for a fact it has happened. It's arguably the greatest feud in WWE NXT history. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. I've said it before, Tommaso Ciampa has been one of my guys dating back to like 2011, 2012 time period. Johnny Gargano, met him a couple of times. Really nice guy, like an actual nice human being. And like I said, this is arguably the greatest feud in NXT history, whether it's game show, developmental, third brand, somewhere in between kind of deal. And it's like two indie guys, so to speak, two guys who made their names through the independents and whatnot, wrestling against each other at WrestleMania, similar to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn from WrestleMania 37, the one down in Tampa, kind of deal. But yeah, I would love to see this match. You could have it as like the actual final match kind of deal. You could, like, this match, I don't want to say doesn't need a build, because the build's already there, but you could announce it like 2-3 weeks before, and I would still be hyped for it and whatnot. But either way, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa is on my list. Number 2 on my list is probably this one, along with the Gargano champ match most likely to happen, and that is Bayley versus Trish Stratus. The photo and the thumbnail kind of deal and whatnot. And for myself personally, this was the match I wish would have happened at SummerSlam 2019 when it was in Toronto. Trish Stratus' last match ever, quote unquote, kind of deal and whatnot, despite her having a last match, retirement match I should say, 13 years before. But either way, Bayley, when it comes to the women's division, the last couple of years, 2018, 2019 onwards, she's been one of my favorites kind of deal, especially in WWE. Trish Stratus, GOAT of not only female wrestling, but wrestlers to come out of like Ontario, Southern Ontario kind of deal, to quote unquote make it big kind of deal and whatnot. And for myself personally, they had an in-ring segment when when WWE Monday Night Raw was in Toronto back in August of 2022, and I went from, yeah, it would be cool to see this match, but I doubt it would happen, to, oh my god, I have to see this match, which is why it's on this list. And at number 2, mostly because number 1 is my ultimate WWE WrestleMania dream match that might happen, but probably won't, but hopefully it does. But either way, Bayley versus Trish Stratus is number 2. On to number 1. Number 1 on my list is War Machine Viking Raiders versus the Usos versus the Young Bucks, and the likelihood of this match actually happening, slim to none, like less than 1% chance. I fully acknowledge it, but even though I am a huge fan of War Machine Viking Raiders, same with the Young Bucks, Usos are, I don't want to say whatever, but for myself in this scenario, whatever kind of deal. But Bucks versus War Machine happened in Ring of Honor kind of deal, if I remember, or PWG or the Independents. It happened somewhere before kind of deal and whatnot. And so that, I don't want to say it's been there, done that, because it's been several years since their career paths kind of went separate. But them coming back, and if you throw in the Usos for, let's say, tag team gold, I would mark out. 1, because it's War Machine. 2, because it's the Young Bucks. 3, because it's WrestleMania kind of deal. And like I said, the likelihood of this actually happening is slim to none. I fully acknowledge that. But I would love to see it at some point down the road, whether it's at WrestleMania main event or some local independent scene. I would go bonkers, none the less. So those are the top 5 dream matches that I would love to see happen at a future WrestleMania. I would love to know which matches are on your list down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Of course, you do not have to if you do not want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly than doing any of that, I hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
That we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's